Good morning traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday the 2nd of December. Alright, this week a bit of data coming out, a couple of the highlights from Australia. We have our GDP numbers due out on Wednesday. The major data for this particular week happens to be non-farm payroll job data, which happens from the US at the very early hours of Saturday morning, so just after midnight on Friday. Also, we have Canada has their job numbers due out at the same time, which is thereabouts. Just take note of that, particularly anybody that trades a US CAD, because it's the two affected currencies in a highly volatile data release. I've got everything listed here by my side, so please take note. Other than that, we'll get started and let's kick off with the Aussie US dollar. All right, Aussie US dollar. We've been tracking this market right now where we have an expectation that perhaps it can move down towards this highlighted area that I have. We've seen that we've bounced on that area once, on two occasions, and we want to see if we get there again, will it possibly bounce one more time, so it gives us an opportunity to trade in the upward direction. So we haven't quite reached it as yet, so I'm still waiting for the candles to come toward down here. When they do, I will look for price action reversal confirmation, as I always do, just basically to show me that the market has come down, gives me a nice reversal combination. So for example, an inside candle, something that looks like that, and then that's my signal on the next candle to become a buyer should I break the high of the inside. Okay, so that's just a quick review of how it works. Not quite set yet, so let's keep it on our radar and we'll move on. All right, Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD, if I zoom out, let me just zoom out for a moment. I've broken, and let me just draw a line over here. Okay, so this level, I was just monitoring it. We've broken below it, so that means there's there's no importance with this level anymore. So let me just get rid of it. What it does mean, as I zoom back in, well, not so much, is that we're in downtrend. Okay, so the market's coming down, it's coming down, and we're in this trend as such. So what I'm looking for is a pullback. We've had a pullback here from here all the way up to here, and we have a high candle. This one, I'll just point to it right now. So today's candle, which opens up, now we're entering the summer session over here in Australia, so the candles open at 9 a.m. now during our summer. So we've got about half an hour before it opens up. If it opens up and stays as an inside candle, say something like this, well then tomorrow morning we'll be able to take a short in a downward direction. So that means that the market has come down, pulled back up, given me these two candles here, which is my indication of reversal, and then trade it back down in continuation of the trend. So this one's pretty close. We just got to wait and see what today's candle does, and we might be in a position. Of course, if today's candle makes a higher candle, say something like this, excuse my drawing, it's very difficult. So let's say it puts a candle like that, then we wait for the following day again, and we could still get a red candle inside like this, which would basically be our trigger then. Okay, so the concept is still the same. As long as it doesn't get too high, like into this region here, then we have to reassess what we do. All right. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a look at the GBP USD. Very similar story with the GBP USD. Okay, we are in a downtrend as such. I've got my red marker up now, and I'm basically waiting for today's candle, which hasn't opened yet. So if it opens, and I'll draw it in the correct color this time, so let's say, and we end up with today having a candle that looks like that, then the blue one and the red one is my reversal pattern, meaning it's come from underneath, produced the reversal pattern, and then tomorrow morning at the break of the low, I can trade and continue downward in this direction. So the Aussie US and the GBP, the Euro USD, let me go back, yeah, the Euro USD and the GBP USD are quite in correlation. So if they both trigger, make sure that you understand what your rules say about such a situation, because you may be doubling up in your trade, okay? Sometimes one triggers and one doesn't, which is okay, and then it gives you an opportunity to enter that movement in any case. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a look at the US yen. US yen, I had marked this area here last week as we were pushing towards it, but it has not happened and it's actually started to go the other way. So what I'm seeing now is I still have to wait. I'm actually seeing, just from experience, I'm seeing that this market is perhaps going to start to act in a narrowing trading range. So what I mean by that is, let's get rid of a couple of things. So I get the feeling that this market may come down to some level. I don't know where the level is yet. I've just drawn in this line there, but let's just say it could be to here. And then what I'm going to do is, as soon as it comes down, I'm going to be looking for signs of reversal. If I get a nice sign of reversal, then I can draw my line, and that could be my first opportunity to start to trade inside this convergent triangle. We're very early in the triangle, but let's just monitor it for now. But I'm just highlighting what I can see that is the highest probability of the next set of trades that I could take on this particular instrument. Okay. All right, let's move along. Let's have a look at Brent, oil, Brent. Okay. My support base here is being respected. So the last one, we went there and we traded upwards. So let's wait again and let's see if I can get reversal in this region here to give us another opportunity to trade upwards. Now, when the market tests so many times, eventually what's going to happen is either it's going to go away from this area significantly, but also we tend to get a build-up of lots of people that trade it. They go along and they put all their stops just in this area here. So we tend to get a build-up of all these stop orders. And what can happen is the market can just trickle over and start to hit these stop orders, much like a domino effect. And then what it can actually do is cause a big rush in a downward direction. That would be a breakout trade. I'm not trading breakouts with the weekly market analysis, but I just wanted to make you aware of it, that this could happen. If that was to happen, it wouldn't affect us because it wouldn't give us the candle pattern that we're looking for, and there's no damage done for us. Okay, but please take note. So what we're looking for is, I'm looking for a candle pattern to occur here, a nice inside candle pattern like this, for example, which will give me my trigger to be a buyer and continue trying to bounce on this support level. Okay. All right. Final one for the week. Let's clear this and let's move along. Gold. Okay, gold. I had marked last week that top level because that's like pretty much record high there, and we had gone down and we're pushing up. And I said, let's see if I can get to this level, and perhaps we may have a double top type trade. Okay. Hasn't really gone there and it's kicked down a little bit. So for gold, we're going to take no action this particular week, and we're just going to monitor what might happen. What looks like could happen is one of two things. Either we start to go back down. That doesn't, the current geopolitical situation globally doesn't support that. So what is probably more likely to happen, and of course, look, with this, we're not trying to be correct. We're not trying to predict. We will only trade what we see. But when I try and foresee, what I'm doing is I'm just setting up for what the next possible trades might be, just in preparation. So what I think could be setting up, we could be getting this market to start to range in this area here. Okay, so just keep a head on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that bottom line in my chart, because that'll remind me of what I'm looking for. But it doesn't mean anything. It's not a support line. It's not a level, a key level. It's just something to indicate to myself that I believe that the market may start to range. If it doesn't range, it doesn't make a difference because I haven't taken a trade, hasn't affected my balance. The other possibility is that this particularly happens. All right, but let's just wait and see. We don't have to commit to anything. We're trying to find the highest probability trades, and that's what this is all about. Okay, so there you go. There's the analysis for this week. Again, I'll just paste up by my side the highlights. We have GDP numbers for Australia that comes out on Wednesday. The biggest impacting data for this particular week is non-farm payroll job numbers. That happens on Saturday morning, so it's really Friday night, just after midnight. But technically we have changed over to Saturday, so please take note. And also Canadian job numbers. Any US CAD traders, you got the double whammy because it's both currencies that are affected directly by those high impacting news. That pretty much wraps up for this week, guys. As always, please take note again of what I've listed. Have a great trading week, and I'll speak to you next week for the weekly market analysis. Bye for now.